All right, let's talk about something that's absolutely critical for any modern nonprofit: connecting the dots between your donor database, your CRM, and your payment system. We're going to break down why linking these two isn't just some fancy tech upgrade, it's really a game-changing move to supercharge your mission.
Sound familiar? If you've ever found yourself spending hours, maybe even days, manually plugging donation details from one system into another, cross-checking endless spreadsheets and hunting down transaction errors, then you know exactly the headache I'm talking about. It's a huge time sink, and honestly, it's just draining.
Okay, so let's really dive into this problem. We're calling it the manual mess, and it's basically what happens when your most important systems just don't talk to each other. This disconnection, well, it creates this whole cascade of issues that go way beyond just wasting a bit of time.
So what does this daily grind actually feel like? Well, it's that constant, soul-crushing manual data entry that's just begging for a typo. It's the costly hours spent on reconciliation, just trying to make the numbers add up. It's missing out on key insights about your donors because their info is scattered all over the place. And maybe the scariest part, it's the serious security and compliance risks you're taking on every single time data gets moved around by hand.
But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. There is an elegant solution to this whole mess. It really is all about the power of connection. So let's talk about what system integration actually is and how it tackles all those problems we just laid out. At its core, integration is actually pretty simple. It's just the process of making your CRM and your payment processor talk to each other automatically and in real time. The whole goal here is to create one single, reliable source of truth for all your donor and payment info. That way you can eliminate all the guesswork and the manual updates. This idea is captured perfectly by Andrew Cares from Centrabel. He says the fix is automatic. A donor makes a payment and boom, that data instantly, and more importantly, correctly, shows up in your CRM. No delay, no typos, no human error. It's just done. Now, when we talk about this, there are basically two flavors of syncing. On the left, you've got a one-way sync, which just pushes payment data into your CRM. It's simple, it's safe, it's effective. On the right, there's two-way sync, which is a bit more complex because it keeps both systems constantly updated. Honestly, for most nonprofits, a simple one-way sync is all you really need to solve the biggest data headaches.
Okay, so what are the actual wins here? What are the tangible results? Let's get into the hard numbers, because the proof of how powerful integration is, well, it's right there in the data. Just think about this for a second. With integrated systems, you can automate up to a staggering 90% of your sponsorship management tasks. We're talking automatic receipts, instant thank you messages, year-end summaries, all sent without a single click from your team. That's real-time given back to focus on what matters.
And this isn't just about saving time. It directly fuels your mission. Integrated systems are way better at managing recurring donations and spotting payment issues early. And the result? A potential 30% increase in revenue retention. Just imagine what your organization could accomplish with 30% more funding for your programs. That's a huge win.
And just to understand the scale we're playing with, get this. U.S. nonprofits spent an estimated $1.43 billion on transaction fees in just 1 year. Every single penny of that is money that could have gone towards the actual mission. So having a perfectly accurate, automated system to track those fees isn't just a nice-to-have. It's about maximizing every single dollar for your impact. And here's a really crucial piece of that revenue puzzle. This chart tells a big story. Look at credit cards on the right. They have a 30% annual reissue rate because cards expire or get replaced. That's a leaky bucket for recurring donations. Now look at bank transfers, or ACH on the left. They fail less than 1% of the time. An integrated system makes offering this super reliable option a piece of cake.
All right, so we've covered the why. I'm guessing you're on board. But what about the how? Let's switch gears and get into a practical playbook for choosing the right tools and actually making this happen. So step 1 is picking the right tools. There are 5 key things to keep in your back pocket. You need systems that are compatible, obviously. They need to allow for really precise data mapping, and they have to be super secure. But just as important, they need to be easy for your team to actually use and flexible enough to support all the different ways your donors want to give. Okay, so you've got the tools. Now it's all about the implementation. You'll want to follow these best practices. This means standardizing your data so everything is uniform, using automation for that real-time sync,
locking down your security, and, I cannot stress this enough, testing everything with sample data before you flip the switch.
Of course, no tech project is ever perfectly smooth. There are always a few bumps in the road. So let's do a little reality check and talk about how to get over some of the most common hurdles you might run into. This is a big one. I see it all the time. What do you do when your payment processor calls something a transaction amount, but your CRM calls it a deal value? This kind of mismatch can stop an integration dead in its tracks.
The solution is to create what's called a data dictionary. Think of it like a translation guide, a Rosetta Stone for your systems. You just document where the data is coming from, where it's going, what kind of data it is, and any logic you need to make them match. A quick 10-record test where you just sync a small batch of data will show you if your dictionary is working perfectly.
And remember, this integration doesn't just make your fundraising team happy. As Ali Orlando from Donor Perfect points out, it's also the simplest way to connect your fundraising data to your accounting software. Your finance team will thank you, trust me. Once you're all set up and integrated, this is where the real magic starts. You can finally ditch those clunky manual spreadsheets and unlock the power of automated reporting. Key metrics, like your monthly recurring revenue, can be tracked in real time, giving you a constant, clear picture of your organization's financial health. An integrated system also lets you meet your donors where they are. And yeah, credit cards are still king for now, but look at digital wallets. They're on a meteoric rise. And like we saw before, donors who use ACH give significantly more on average. Offering and tracking all these options is absolutely key to growth. So what's the big takeaway here? What does all this tech talk really boil down to? It's about people. It's about freeing up your team from the tedious, manual work of data entry so they can focus their time, their most valuable resource, on what truly moves the needle, building relationships and advancing your mission. So, we'll leave you with this question to chew on. The world of payments and what donors expect is changing faster than ever. The real question every nonprofit needs to be asking is our technology evolving with it, or is it holding us back? Thanks for joining us.